Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary folk of all ages, signora y senora, because we're in beautiful Florence here. Welcome to the IQA World Cup. This is a semi-final matchup. Team USA versus Team UK. Whew, what a game we have here coming up. America just came through. Team Australia. The UK just beat Italy to get here. Both had hard-fought matches, neck and neck. This one's going to be intense. What are you guys expecting to see here?
I think personally United States is looking to ride their momentum through Australia. I think that was what many people consider to be the biggest game of the tournament. They're meeting in the bracket. So I think they're hoping to ride the momentum through here, play solid, good defense, hard-hitting tackles, good beater play that we saw in the last Australia game, and come out with the victory.
Chris, I'm going to ask you this. The last time these two guys faced off, it was a semi-final matchup in the last World Cup. Didn't quite go in the UK's favor. How are they going to change it up this time?
No, it didn't. Yeah, losing out of swim in the semi-final to the US was gutting 2 years ago. I really think, you know, the tactics have come along quite a long way in the past 2 years. We know how to mix it up. We know what we're good at. We know what we're not so good at as well, so we kind of try and steer away from that. I think this game will be won and lost by the beaters. I think the beater plays made by the fantastic beater pairs, both on the US and the UK. Both have huge names known worldwide. I think that will really decide the game for everyone.
So how do you think the beater dynamics will match up, the USA beating style versus a UK beating style?
I think both teams have a lot of different looks they can throw at the other to see what they're going to do. I think we saw some pretty aggressive beater play in the Australia-United States game, and that worked well for them, so we may see that more if we feel that that's working. On the other side of the coin, we've got the UK. I think you'll probably be able to talk more about how they played against Italy and what we might see from that.
Yeah, so Lucy Q, Yang Mikawajak, and Bill Orich, kind of the three big name beaters for Team UK. That's not taking anything away from the other beaters. Of course, however, they are probably the three strongest beaters that they have. Lucy Q loving to play in the opposing half, and Yan and Bill just having absolute cannons of arms. It will really be good to see them come toe-to-toe with people of their standard. Not that any other teams haven't been their standard, but of pairs that will give them a real fight.
Well, the balls are lined up on the pitch. Both teams are warming up. They're done warming up. USA is ready to go. They're on the starting line already. The refs are about to have this game underway, so let's say we hit the commentary booth.
Let's do it.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and those watching all around the world, and welcome to the 2018 International Quidditch Association Quidditch World Cup here in very hot, very sunny, beautiful Florence, Italy. I'm Matt Dwyer.
I'm Chris Thomas.
And here we have an exciting matchup today, the semi-final matchup between the USA and the UK.
This is really going to be a match for the ages. The US have had to absolutely battle their way here, coming through Australia not once but twice already this tournament. Team UK having quite a good run up so far, really struggling against Italy, you know, not quite getting in their stride, and it'll be interesting to see how they come off the back of that. They were down on quaffle points when they caught the snitch, but winning that really will be a great boost for them coming up against the USA.
I completely agree. It was a rough game against Italy. They played very well. They had the home court advantage. The crowd was cheering for them. The UK managed to come up with a W. So what do you think we're going to see here today as the teams start lining up, UK start getting themselves together?
I think number one will be aggressive beating. I expect to see the opposition beaters, so the UK in the US's half a lot with their beaters, the US beaters in the UK's half a lot with their beaters as well, really applying the pressure on offense and on defense as well. Lucy Q for the UK, loves to play in the opponent's half, forcing the play to one side, trying to force the pass, and I'm sure there are players from the US that do very similar things.
Absolutely. You're going to see players like Max Havlin, Lulu Zhu, Jackson Johnson, all these types of players that are going to come together, and you might see them all the way behind the other players' hoops if they feel that that's a necessary play. They've got a lot of different looks that they can throw at the team, and we'll see how they're able to respond.
Yeah, definitely. I think something I've seen more this tournament as well, which has been very interesting. A lot of teams like getting the quaffle behind the opponent's hoops and shooting back through. Therefore, if you miss, it's still your quaffle possession. It will go back to your keeper or your reset option or something like that. And it'll be really interesting to see if that trend follows with the US-UK match, or whether they both just try barrel throwing each other, which will be really interesting to see.
Absolutely. You bring up barreling through each other. If we'll remember the U.S.-Australia match from yesterday, the U.S. just tried to barrel through Australia, and it did not work. And they had to regroup and come up with a new strategy. Today, during that match, USA-Australia, again, very, very physical match. The USA, typically known to be a very physical thing. Do you think the UK can match them in this level of physicality?
I think they will give it their best shot. We have some huge hitters on the UK. It doesn't look like a massive squad size-wise in comparison to the USA. The USA look a bit taller, a bit well-built. But these skinny guys, Seb Waters, Malpass, Trevette, Ruben Thompson, they can all make huge, huge hits. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of them.
Me too. Our head referee here is Alex Amadal. He's now calling for the team's ready cheers.
So we'll have Tom Stevens running for the ball for the UK. Everyone has just gone silent. Here we go. A fantastic race. Tom Stevens getting the ball, going back to Seb Waters. UK in possession of the quaffle. However, US getting the bludger control.
Looks like USA running a bit of a double point here. Simona Renz tracking.
Alex Carpenter coming up now, really trying to hassle the US to try and get bludger control back. Seb Waters being drawn out all the way to the far left of the pitch. Big reset to Ruben Thompson, and they will try again.
That's one thing that I have not seen these teams use a whole lot, is the reset option, whereas some of the maybe lesser experienced teams, the teams who maybe were definitely underdogs in the situation, they've been using the reset a lot this tournament. I know in the US we have a backcourt rule, kind of a reset rule.
Yeah, very, very similar to the UK. I think the UK have so that, for example, that would have been illegal in the UK. However, we're playing the IQA rulebook. Therefore, as long as there is a reset option, as long as you're not passing back into empty space, you can reset the ball to them.
And the U.S. has seemed to keep Sam Hamowitz in the beater position, and it looks like the UK beaters weren't able to get it on.
Oh, fantastic hoop there from the UK. Ruben Thompson over to Gemma Thripp. Gemma Thripp slamming it smooth through the small hoop. That's 10-0 to the UK. Fantastic play there. Patient play, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of from both teams here.
Absolutely, and UK did not go in until the beater play was upset. Lucy Q creating some distraction on the far side, having the beaters move out of position, and that allowed for that great pass in. All right, Max Havlin, Lulu Zhu for USA, kind of pushing into UK's keeper zone. Casey Irwin receives the ball on the backside of the hoops. She's getting wrapped up. She's got support from Archibald. Archibald trying to get it, and unfortunately the crowd is in my way here. They've all creeped on over in front of the stand, and I believe there's a stoppage of play.
This is the replay of the UK goal incoming. You'll see Thompson to Thripp and into the hoop. There's Thompson, there's Thripp into the small hoop. Fantastically executed, well positioned by Thripp.
Bit of a difficult pass diagonally across the hoops there. Well done.
Yeah, well executed. I think this is a brooms down just for a turnover of the ball. So I think this is a back to hoops for Ruben Thompson. Back to hoops for Ruben Thompson. Jake Archibald now with the ball. Seb Waters, Tom Stevens, and Gemma Thripp in his way. I assume he will just pass the ball over to 20.
That's Simona Renz up there. He's also got Marty Bermudez on the top and Casey Irwin as well.
Yeah, there are no beaters in sight. Jan Mikowajczak and Lucy Q very far away.
And it's a pass to Arenz, a little awry. Arenz has got it. He's juking around, looking for his options. Big
Absolutely fantastic hit
from
Tom Stevens there.
Arenz
UK still playing on, but it goes through the hoop. Fantastic shot.
Good mid-range shot there. And USA trying to maintain bludger control, and they do. Great beat from Zhu on Mikowajczak.
Mikowajczak.
It's
a hard name.
It's a long Polish name.
Mikowajczak now subbing on for Bill Orich. Some real old timers as far as Team UK is concerned. I think Bill and Lucy really looking to work together to get bludge control back from, is it Havlin and Zhu?
Yes, Havlin blows up the beater play there. He's probably going to want a throw back if he can, and he does so. Gets beat, maintains bludger control, and the UK resets it all the way back after being pressured by the US.
Good beating by Bill Orich there. Thinking he should get bludger control back. However, he will not prevail this time.
Yeah, Havlin and Zhu are making him work for it.
Yeah, Havlin really making them work for it. Or nearly a fantastic pass from Seb there. Fantastic interception by Jake Archibald.
He was looking for the pull-up shot, wasn't happening. He's driving in now, looking push pass outside of Bermudez.
That's a great goal.
Absolutely
Fantastic goal.
He took a shot there, but finished strong.
Fantastic diagonal pass again across the front of all the UK players. And yes, like Tom Stevens took him down, but he put the ball through the hoop anyway.
Looks like we've got a little stoppage here while the referees discuss something, potentially neck contact. We're hearing maybe, nope. Looks like goal was good. There is no foul on the play. And play continues.
Oh, yeah.
Waters bringing it up now for the UK, up the center. Lucy Q, Orridge. Trying to face down Havlin and Zhu. Waters taking his sweet time, coming around the outside, threatening a shot. Archibald perched behind the hoops, hoping to not let a behind the hoops pass go through there.
Yeah, Seb Waters, well known as one of the best distributors in the UK. He could find Gemma Thripp if she was by herself. Jake Archibald there doing a good job, just behind the hoops, ready to intercept the pass to Thripp if it comes.
We've got Malpass on the far side. Malpass looking for his options. Havlin beats the beater, and it looks like they're a press. Well, that was a very well done play.
That was a fantastic
None of the chasers were up with him.
By the US.
Unfortunately, none of the chasers were up with him. Bermudez comes up with the ball. He passes over.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Well, it was meant to be a pass.
It was meant to be a pass. However,
Simona
Renz
was there. That was an incredible play. If you saw there, Lulu Zhu came up pressuring the quaffle, and Max Havlin went ahead of her to pressure the pass-back option, taking both out at the same time, creating that turnover. That was a very smart play.
Yeah, I guess that's just one of the examples of US adapting to the way that the UK are playing. They're playing the slow game. They're waiting for their beaters to do some work. Is it bludge control now in the hands of the UK? Yeah, Lucy Q, but all the way behind the US hoops. Lulu Zhu now without a bludger in hand. Seb just running straight across the front of the US hoops. He's got Brett in the middle, Malpass all the way back, and Piontek on the very far side.
Waters guarded by Irwin. He passes over. It's Brett.
Oh, Brett making a long shot. Unfortunate to miss there. I think there's times where you've just got to take it slow. Bill Orridge making a fantastic block there from Marks Havlin's beat. Leaving Lulu Zhu to go pick up the other bludger all the way in the UK's hoops.
That was a great play by Orridge.
Yeah, Bill Orridge needing to, those lightning fast reactions. Can Havlin and Zhu now get control back from Lucy and Orridge?
Lindsay Morella and Nick Marino now in for the United States. Jake Archibald on the far side looking central. with the ball. Passes down to Marino. Marino looking for his options. It's Simone Arenz. He's been beat on the inside.
Lovely beating there by a drive now from Malpass. It goes over to Brett.
Top.
Brett's beat though. Fantastic play from Lulu Zhu, realizing to take out the passing option, trusting her keeper, Jake Archibald, to make the hit where he needs to.
I think Brett was a little bit too outside there. Had he been a little closer, might have gotten the pass sooner, might have been able to get that shot off.
You got to wonder what's going through these guys' heads. You know, this is the biggest game they've played this tournament. This is for most of them, it's the biggest game they will play in their lives, and you just got to worry: is the pressure getting to them?
I don't think so. I think both these teams are cool as a
Jan
cucumber
making
right
a
now.
fantastic beat there, but it still goes in. Fantastic finish there by the US.
Great shot right in from Jake Archibald to Sam Hamowitz. Great finish by Hamowitz. And Jackson Johnson and Bailey Fields right now.
Seb Waters passing that ball after being beat.
I'm not quite sure what the call is there. There was no stoppage, but everyone just seemed to stop. I think there was a little confusion on the call. And USA tried to regain bludger control. Didn't work. Jackson Johnson running up. Bailey Fields is going to have to call immunity. And she's gotten it back. Just a little bounce off Lindsay Morella there.
The US are going to give UK a little taste of their own medicine. Work it up really slowly. Jackson Johnson and Fields working together, trying to get bludger control back.
Great cut by Hamowitz to the inside.
Play
Great
by the
feet
US.
by Archibald. And that's the second one they've had in a row.
That is the second one they've had in a row. UK really struggling to put the hoops in where it matters. Can they do it now? There's no bludgers on the defense for the US. Oh,
great block by Archibald.
Fantastic blocking by Archibald, putting his body in the way of the hoop, leaving Ed Brett absolutely nowhere to shoot.
And that was a hard shot by Brett.
That was a hard shot.
I could feel that over here.
We heard the thump all around, all around the stands, all the way round the US fans, through the commentary box and round to the UK fans.
Archibald looking center,
driving
Johnson
in, making a lovely
pump
beat.
Fakes. Brett's on, passes to Hamowitz, and it's a goal before Hamowitz is beat. And that's the third one in a row they've had.
Third one in a row. I just think the US are just a bit good at utilizing the few seconds that the UK beaters are not paying attention.
I think that's going to be the biggest difference this is going to make is can the UK adjust to guarding these bang-bang plays? Can they adjust to guarding Hamowitz as he cuts inside and for the third pass in a row?
Yeah, I just think maybe they switch to man marking, try and get really tight on the man, stopping the passing options. I think Team UK, I predict they'll call a timeout quite soon, rethink through their strategy, see what's going on.
Waters pressured, he moves back to Malpass. That's pressure from Hamowitz and Marino. Malpass now bringing it up near side. He's got protection from Jan.
Big chants from the UK fans coming out, being met by equally as loud chants from the USA.
USA maintaining bludger control, and Waters is taking his sweet, sweet time over here. Waters, a big pass back.
Fantastic interception. Lovely kick beat by Lucy Q into the hands of Piontek.
With the UK.
Let's see if the UK can use bludger control to score this time. Score being 60-10 to the US.
And the field right now, if you can't see quite the full field on the live stream. Everyone is very spread out.
Yeah, I think the US, knowing what the UK is doing very intelligently, they're switching to a very wide man mark, sending their chasers all the way into the UK half, blocking off the reset options. Very intelligent by the US, very, very intelligent.
And the USA will now take a few subs. Havlin and Zhu back in at beater, and Tyler Trudeau coming in at keeper. And Thompson and Marino, two big men, very physically trying to jockey for position. Trudeau weighing his options.
Oh, Zoo making a
Trudeau,
fantastic beat on Lucy
spin
Q.
move. Great dunk over the top hoop.
Fantastic play.
Trudeau feeling good about that one.
Yeah, they'll feel really good about that. And I think something both the US and the UK know is that bludger control, bludger patrol is just for Christmas. It's not forever. So they, Zoo coming up, making the beat on Lucy Quidditch. Yes, now they've lost bludger control, but they scored a hoop, and I think for the US, they are more than okay with that. They know that they have the high-quality beaters. They can get control back, and I think that's something you'll see a lot of the high-quality teams do. They will happily lose bludger control if they can score.
That's a big bomb by Waters there to get it back up. And UK driving in. Good tackling there. Waters, he's looking just outside.
That's unlucky from Seb Waters. Just hitting the side
UK
of the
has
medium
recovered.
hoop. Oh,
Waters,
Seb Waters make a fantastic interception into the hands of Ruben Thompson.
Morella was waiting for that bounce, and Waters just came right in and took it from her.
It's a good heads-up play by Waters.
Absolutely.
Tom Stevens.
Tom Stevens, 59, now on the attack for the UK. Passes off to Waters on the far side. UK with bludger control. Orridge and Lucy Q pushing the beater play in. Havlin drops the bludger to Zoo in a perfect bounce pass. The quaffle goes to the far side. Thompson chases it down. Thompson has the ball now coming to the near side of the hoops. And looks like that was a turnover, and Trudeau will pick it up.
Oh,
Misbeat by Lucy Q. And that'll go well behind the US hoops, practically on the next field.
I think something that's very interesting that the UK and the US do differently. You'll notice the US play in beater pairs. The beaters will sub in pairs. So you have Havlin and Zoo playing in pairs. And you have Jackson Johnson and Fields playing in pairs as well. Really means that they can, oh, fantastic hit from Tom Stevens there. Really means that they can get the beater pair chemistry going.
Yeah, I was discussing with Mark Kelly earlier as we discussed USA, Australia, and we noticed the same thing. Australia has kind of a rotating cast of beaters. They just kind of fluidly move in one against the other, whereas the United States is very much set beater pairs. And we discussed the pros and cons of both, the adaptability, the on-field chemistry.
Yeah, and I think, you're saying, I think the US, this is the near miss by Seb Waters. Just hitting the right side of the medium hoop there.
It was a good juke there. He had
a
very good stutter step.
Very good.
Team's having a timeout now. The UK has brought parasols.
Yeah, I think they were a gift from Quidditch parents. I think Quidditch parents went out and bought Team UK parasols.
That's very lovely.
This is the replay of the last US goal. That's the fantastic dunk there by the US keeper, Trudeau.
So now, coming out of this timeout, timeouts are always a time that you can reset, let's say. You can readjust your strategy. What do you think you might see differently here right now?
I think it might be interesting to add a little bit more contact into the beater play. I think a lot of it is mainly running up, throwing the bludger, quite simply as hard as you can at the beaters, hoping it hits them, hoping they don't catch it. But I think maybe Bill Orridge, being a very physical player, might go in, maybe try to tackle Lulu Zhu, Max Havlin, whoever, to get the working together, using the contact with the arm of Lucy Q. It might be something that the UK consider. Honestly, if I'm the US coaches, I'm saying to one another, don't change anything. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. We're 3 goals out of snitch range. Keep going. Keep defending the big resets. And let's rack up a few more points. I think the US is not concerned whether they beat the UK 100-0 or 10-0, as long as they beat them.
I think that's probably correct. Hull now at the top of the field, pressured by Hallie Pace. Hull passes it off to Thompson. Pace now pressuring Thompson. Big long pass, recovered by Trudeau. Almost picked off there. Pass to Axel, he bobbles it a little bit, picks it back up. And Axel will slow it down. We've got Hallie Pace and Cole Travis in now. And Axel's going to go for a run, looking to the inside, pass across to Lindsay Morella.
Oh, that's a fantastic goal.
Oh,
that's a fantastic goal.
That was too easy. That was way too easy.
So Axel drawing the entirety of the fence to the near side of the pitch, leaving, oh, sorry, I missed who scored that.
Oh, that was Lindsay Morella.
Lindsay Morella just knowing exactly what her teammate is doing, sitting by the small hoop, waiting for the pass, and Axel again drawing the entire defense of the UK away, leaving Morello to score a nice, easy goal.
That was a great play by Cole Travis there to maintain budget control from Lucy Q. We've got Luke Langlanay marking Andrew Hall in the quaffle. Hall's looking very fit. Now we've got Malpass back in the game. Hall bringing it up, coming to the far side.
Oh, Lucy Q trading with pace there.
Hall, the other side to Malpass.
Malpass will be disappointed with that. Going in for the kick before, after the beat was made.
I think the football roots.
Showing the football roots. Malpass, originating from Warwick University, playing with Luke Trevette, Seb Waters. Oh, we got a replay coming of the kick. Fantastic bit of football skills there. Sadly, it was after the beat.
That was a good defense there by
Lovely
the UK.
Bit of last-ditch defense
very good
by
defense.
Yang McQuarjak.
The pass to Axel was bobbled a little bit. He feeds it inside to Trudeau. Trudeau unable to make the pass before beat. Picked up by Langlanay, and then Langlanay knocked over. That was some solid defense by the UK.
Yeah, it really was, and I think that's what Team UK have been lacking this game. A really grounded defense. It seems to be quite scrappy from them.
Malpass coming around the outside of Axel, passing to the inside.
Absolute fantastic goal there.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was very similar to Axel and Morello's goal. Malpass drawing all the defense to the far side of the pitch. Hull make an absolutely fantastic cut into the small hoop, and Malpass just placing the ball in Hull's hands, and Hull scoring. UK will be very happy about that, giving them a big boost on morale with roughly half a minute of time to go before the snitch comes on pitch.
Some substitutions for the US. Jake Archibald in now, Sam Hamowitz, Casey Irwin, Julia Bear, and Archibald ball handling on the far side, passes down to Bear. She's looking.
Mikawajak potentially going to get hit from the back. Or Mikawajak not being beaten by that again. Hull in his keeper zone, therefore cannot be beat. Fantastic hit by Ruben Thompson there. Even better offload by Jake Archibald though.
Yeah, no one was there.
Hull now driving up.
Hull's
one beater in his way. He will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, he pulled up. I don't know why. He had a full head of steam. He could have gone through any player on the team. Why did he pull up?
I don't know. I think he might have seen the beater coming to his right, pulling up, maybe looking for a pass, maybe slowing down, getting ready for the shot. This is a replay for the last UK goal coming up. You can see Malpass running around the far side of the pitch, all the way over into Hull's hands. Fantastic goal through the small hoop.
That was a perfectly timed run by Hull. That was incredibly impressive.
That's what the UK will want more of.
And it looks like we have a bit of a hoop issue. Just working to fix that, and then we'll be able to continue play here. The UK is really into their songs, huh?
They, yeah, we've got quite a few big songwriters. I will give a shout out to Sam Senior. He's done a fantastic job. I think there's quite a few people who are disappointed they can't be here today. I've been messaged by quite a few people saying, "Oh, we wish we were there." Lovely little shout out to Tommy Morgan. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be stood where I am.
If you're watching on the stream, you're here with us in our hearts. Pass back up to Hall on the far side. The UK holding bludger control. It's Lucy Q and Yan on different sides of the field.
Oh, that's what Hull wants.
And that was a nice pull-up mid-range shot by Hull. Bit of a disruption in the center by Yan. And the Seekers are now on the field. It's Carpenter defending for the UK, and Harry Greenhouse will be in at seeker. Cole Travis will give her a little bump. Or I'm sorry, that's Jackson Johnson. My apologies.
Oh, fantastic beat by Lucy Q on Harry Greenhouse and regains bludger control. I think the UK have to be really careful here. Yes, they want to focus on the snitch. They want to keep the US from catching, but they also need to focus on the quaffle game. To win, they have to score 2 more hoops.
USA taking their time now. And another double beat at the beaters on the snitch, so Harry has to go one-on-one with Carpenter.
It seems to be quite a common theme of Lucy Q coming up, trading with either Fields or Johnson.
Malpass tearing up the field. He's a big pass over the top.
Over to Brett.
It's Brett
spinning out of the tackle with Archibald. Archibald snacks it. That's
Archibald
fantastic.
Right out of his arms. And Brett's quite a big boy.
I think that just shows the physicality and the athleticism of this USA team.
Absolutely. A rare mishandling by Marino that started that transition fast break there. Had he had caught that, I think that would have been a goal instead.
Oh, Johnson making a fantastic dodge there, hitting Lucy Q and able to dodge out of the way of the beat thrown by her.
Greenhouse getting all the time in the world with a snitch right now, although Carpenter's coming back in to try and help out. Lucy Q facing off against Fields and forces a throwback. And now it's Orridge and Johnson will face off. And Orridge just caught it between his legs.
Absolutely huge play. Sadly gets beat by Johnson after that.
I thought he had the dodge there.
I thought he had the dodge there as well.
That was an incredible. He caught it between his knees. That was an incredible play.
That was amazing play by Bill Orridge. The USA coach running on pitch, giving his team a little bit more advice in what we can only assume will be the closing minutes of play. Frankie Kempster now coming on. One of the most underrated players, I feel, on the UK. She's done a fantastic job to make it on the UK squad. Sadly not getting as much pitch time as she probably would have wanted, but a fantastic seeker. For Loughborough long shots. And I'm sure she'll do a fantastic job defending the snitch against Harry Greenhouse.
Quite a tall order, though.
I'd rather her than me.
I think rather her than a lot of us. All right, there seems to be a little bit of confusion about who's got the ball. The UK trying to talk to Ref Amadal here, but I'm pretty sure it's USA ball. I'm not quite sure what they're discussing, honestly.
Honestly, me neither. Oh, is Tom Stevens in the sin bin?
And it looks like
Tom Stevens is in the sin bin, and we have absolutely no idea what for.
Yeah, not a lot of
Lucy Q
slapping
Harry Greenhouse in the back.
Yeah, Marino now looking for his options as the beaters scramble to move back into play. Johnson locking down the seeker game pretty much. And a good move inside by Julia Bear. And that'll bring our score 90-30.
That just looked effortless from the UK, from the USA, sorry.
Bill Orridge apparently got a catch there. There was a little bit of contention on whether he actually caught that from the USA players, but he plays on. Never mind, he has indeed been beat, called from the other side of the field. UK, big pass up top, back to Hall. And it is indeed. And that was a great, great beat there. And Jake Archibald falling on the ball.
You can see with the snitch on the bottom left of your screen, Frankie Kempster not actually looking at Harry Greenhouse, looking at the floor in between Harry Greenhouse and the snitch. Just trying to keep them both in her periphery vision.
Harry Greenhouse getting some more alone time. Simone Aarons for the U.S. just kind of looking for his options, looking around. Marty Bermudez doing the same thing on the far side.
Jacopo making a fantastic split dodge there from Jackson Johnson.
Greenhouse still more time. Simone Aarons running the mile to get it in.
Jackson wrestling Santori. He kicks it back after dodging the beat. Fantastic play. Hull now driving up pitch. Oh, there's one bludger in the way, though. Field standing there like,
coming out in.
Run at me, do it.
And Bermudez picks up on the transition.
As he's foot racing Havlin to the bludger. Sadly, she doesn't make it properly. That's a tall order.
Sartori now in for beater. I don't think we've really seen him here.
Now we've got Trudeau seeking for the US.
And the USA can tend to just pass the quaffle around a little bit. Havlin and Zhu in. They beat Carpenter. And
fantastic
Trudeau
teamwork
getting some
there
more
from
allowed
Havlin and
time.
Zhu, passing the bludger between them. Alex Carpenter really trying to get in. Havlin just going to go and finish Carpenter off, sending her back to hoops. Oh, Santiori making a fantastic run. It should be a Brett for a goal, and there it is.
That was a very odd play, but a good heads-up play by the UK. I'm not quite sure what the US was doing there. Simona Renz was facing down the bludger and just kind of got hit.
I think that was Santiori. Jacopo, oh, Trudeau has caught the snitch. We were too busy focused on quaffle play. Hopefully.
He was engaged. He was engaged. A good grapple.
He caught the snitch against Australia in the first game. I'm sure US will be really, really happy about this. Here we have the UK, the replay of the catch.
In just a moment here.
We're not getting it. I think this is just the USA, the refs checking. Oh,
And
the catch is being
was
called no good.
The catch is no good.
Why is the catch no good? Ashara! Ashara! Why is it no good? Ah. So Trudeau pulling the shorts of the snitch, then grabbing the snitch shock. An illegal move.
And the UK lives to fight another day.
We'll see how long they can keep standing for. Mikawajak going up against Zhu, trying to get Carpenter into position. Oh, and a fantastic goal by the US again.
That was a pretty good mid-range shot there by Arenz. Havlin just looks at Arenz and says, let's go. And then they just moved up the field. That was great communication, nice and simple.
Really good.
Wasn't ready for it.
That's what you've got to see at this high level of Quidditch. You've got to see the seamless communication between the chasers and the beaters, which is just fantastic.
Trudeau looking a little bit tired. He's got Carpenter in the way, just trying to defend. Carpenter doing a very good job of defending. A double misbeat, a little bit rare, and it looks like UK will recover bludger control there. Havlin's by himself. We've got Thompson on the far side looking to drive. Casey Irwin on the defense. Waters near side, he receives the pass. Waters way over the top for Thrip. Just a little too high there. And Arenz will bring it back up the field. USA has gotten bludger control back.
Oh, a lovely beat there by Jan Mikawajak. And again on Lulu Zhu, cleaning up bludger control for his team. Oh, Havlin nearly getting the catch. Jan just missing Trudeau.
And the United States just kind of hanging out. I think the UK is maybe finally realizing that they can press. That took quite a while. I don't know what's going on there.
Taking out Carpenter, leaving Trudeau one-on-one with a snitch again.
Bermudez near side. Bermudez gets beat, gets
oh,
off the
lovely
pass
beat
at the
by
last
Lulu
minute.
Zhu on
Almost
Carpenter.
got hit in the head on the one from behind though.
Can Trudeau do it this time? He's got big long arms, nearly makes it around the side of the snitch. He's going again. Carpenter really fighting to get in the way.
USA with bludger control.
Keeping her out.
Havlin making a beat, and it appears it's been missed. And the pass inside to Irwin, back up top to Bear. Bear running on the inside.
Trudeau just missing the snitch again. Kempster now on for the UK, trying to get into that defensive seeking position. Jess O'Neill now come on to see if she can fight Lulu Zhu for control of that bludger. Jake Archibald now on in the yellow headband, trying to fight Kempster for the snitch. A lot of diving.
Pass there by
nearly catching it.
By Simona Renz to Casey Irwin there. Probably would have been another goal.
Jake Archibald really liking the dive and reach with his right arm.
That was a great block by Bermudez. I'm not sure if you saw that on the far side of the field. They tried to bomb it into Malpass. And Bermudez tracked that all the way. Good block. Arenz came up with it. Now Arenz will take a sub. Hamowitz is in. And it looks like we've got Marino coming in at keeper. I don't know if we've seen him a keeper this whole tournament.
He's been definitely been a primary chaser. Jess O'Neill being taken out by Hallie Pace.
Hallie Pace, Cole Travis now.
Archibald
Travis creating
really
some
fighting with the
disruption.
snitch.
Marino not quite sure what happened there. Hamowitz comes up with the ball. He dodges the beat.
Santori
Hamowitz on Thompson.
Thompson
He spins
going
out of
in for the
Thompson.
hit. Over the top.
Malpass.
Oh, lovely.
To a Bear. And
Absolutely
a score.
lovely goal by a Bear.
I think it's just Bear. Her Facebook name is a
Seb
Bear.
going all the way, missing the shot. He probably could have taken a few more steps. Might be disappointed with that. Greenhouse now back on.
The elbow through the hoop.
Elbow through the hoop. That's the way to do it. You definitely score if your elbow's gone through the hoop. Harry Greenhouse now back on with the snitch. Brooms down. As is the brooms down, I think we'll just congratulate Belgium, who just beat Turkey. So the winner of this game will be playing Belgium in the final of the IQA World Cup. The loser of this game will be playing Turkey for the bronze medal. This is the previous catch by the USA that was called not good, as there was a pull of the snitch shorts first.
It was a bit hard to see there. I'm not sure. Here it is a little slower. I think it was just a split second before his wrist grazed before he did a second effort with his hand to get the snitch.
Yeah, that's a tough call as the referees to make that. These teams got to be getting to the getting exhausted in this heat.
Yeah,
they've been playing 25 minutes of top tier Quidditch, and they must be exhausted.
I'm hot and I'm here in the shade. Can't even imagine running in the sun.
Harry Greenhouse now in the yellow headband for the US, nearly getting it first charge after the broom's down. Trying to push the snitch's arms away and then go round with the right arm. Oh, the snitch sock is off, but it is not in anyone's hand. The snitch taking a knee.
Sartori and Lucy Q beating for the UK now. Marino dodging a beat from Sartori. Oh, they're running it to the fence. I don't know what they were doing there because that's definitely Cole Travis's ball. He got there first. It's lacrosse rules that way.
You got to feel for these defensive seekers from the US. They're basically doing shutter runs between the snitch and the hoop.
Pass across to Casey Irwin. A big tackle by Thompson there. Irwin beat Thompson trying to get the ball. He's gotten a little frustrated there. Thompson gets up, wrapped by Hamowitz. Thompson trying to spit out of it. Hamowitz holding on. Blocked.
Oh, lovely block by
Thompson goes
Hamowitz.
to his knees, and Hamowitz blocks him. He just thinks of going on a run, decides against it as he sees Orridge stepping in.
Lucy Q getting a bit frustrated at a ref's decision there. Oh, lovely strip there from Lucy Q beating Hallie Pace. Bill Orridge making a fantastic catch. Beating out Cole Travis, then hitting Harry Greenhouse. The UK fans absolutely loving that.
Orridge, what a cannon of an arm.
Absolute cannon. Carpenter now in the defensive seeking position, ready to face off against Harry Greenhouse, who's been sent back to hoops. But again, the US racking up another one. I think the US are they're only scoring if they definitely can, and the last 2 or 3 times they definitely can. They've been racking up the points now, 80 points ahead of the UK.
Great catch by Cole Travis from Bill Orridge as the quaffle goes back to the backside there. That's Brett. He's looking for his options. Big pass across.
Lovely, lovely alley-oop to Tom Stevens.
And
the goal given?
He didn't make it.
No.
I think Stevens bobbled it and did not make it. Marino comes up with it.
Fantastic alley-oop by Ed Brett. Sadly, Tom Stevens not being able to finishing off.
That's got to be
turtled
frustrating
by
to Brett.
Marino.
USA has now subbed in Luke Langlanay and Rachel Heald. I think this is how the U.S. wanted to play against Australia yesterday. A little more methodical as Marino's shot is blocked, but Luke Langlanay with the cleanup. That was a great cleanup goal there.
Harry Greenhouse nearly getting the snitch, going round with one hand, going round with his left hand, having his hand on the snitch sock, not quite able to remove it from the shorts, went round with the right, missing it, ending up on the floor. Snitch is doing a fantastic job, but it's in his hand, and he bumps into Alex Carpenter.
And that was a good move there by Greenhouse. We'll see if this one stands.
Good move by Greenhouse. Going round, I think going round with his left, then catching with the right.
Yeah, he got him on a good balance there.
Just the replay of the catch now coming up on screen.
And the
catch is given as good. Here we are, seeing it again. After the snitch has been down, Harry Greenhouse ready to reset, ready to go again. There it is, round with the right arm. Reaching round the side. The snitch does not have an arm, unfortunately bumping into Carpenter there, but a very good grab from Harry Greenhouse.
And the USA now moving on to the 2018 IQA Quidditch World Cup Finals against Belgium.
So the Redeem team is guaranteed a medal at the IQA World Cup, but we both know they're only here for one medal.
And it is gold.
They're here for gold. And what do you think their chances are?
I think their chances are pretty good. I've had the privilege to watch a few Belgium games over the course of the weekend. They play tough. Their beaters play well, but I think the U.S. can match their play.
I actually agree with you. I think the U.S. Really has the depth in every single position. I think potentially in some other teams. There are. I'm not going to say weaker because they're still incredibly great players. But when someone subs off from the US, they sub someone on with just as equal skills. So we're gonna head over now to Siraj with the analyst desk. After that fantastic game, I've been Chris Thomas,
and I've been Matt Dwyer. Thanks for tuning in.
What a game that was indeed. Thank you to Matt and Mark, Matt and Chris commentating there. So here we have a post-game analyst. I'm here with Josh and Oda. Exciting game to say the least. I mean, it was a bit of a runaway at the end there. How did you see that game playing for you?
Well, I mean, of course the U.S. came in, I would argue, as favorites in this game. And for good reason, as we can see. Of course, they managed to maintain bludger control at least most of the beginning of the game, which of course is a huge advantage, especially when they have drivers that can get through as long as there's no bludgers in defense. So that, of course, gave them a huge advantage, especially right off the bat.
I think one of the biggest disadvantages that the UK, well, one thing that really hurt the UK was they kept constantly getting right to the hoop, but kept missing the hoop. That's just something. But every time the U.S. got right up in there, they capitalized on every opportunity they got.
I was going to say, for me, the UK played a bit slower than I'm used to seeing them, and their passes weren't quite as on point. The UK is usually known for fast, straight passes, and there was lots of like looping, long balls. What do you attest that to?
I'm assuming they probably tried to adjust their play style to play in the U.S. They knew the U.S. is going to be aggressive. They knew the U.S. Is good at taking advantage of small mistakes, so they were probably trying to play it a little bit safer. However, that didn't seem to work out particularly well for them in this case. Yeah.
I think they just got into their own heads, like as Oda was saying, like they tried to adjust, but I think they over-adjusted, right? So like, while the UK is usually like a fast, good, smart passing team, there's a lot of long bombs, a lot of passes that were going way too far, and I think they overthought most of their plays and just weren't able to capitalize on that.
I mean, obviously not the result the UK wanted. Better than the last time these two teams faced off in a semifinal at the World Cup. What do you think that they did well?
I mean, they did, of course, use their beaters quite well, especially once Snitch was on pitch. I felt the the beater game of the UK did improve significantly once Snitch was on pitch. I did, however, feel they missed quite a few of their beats. I don't know whether it was nerves, but it was a lot of hard shots that went way off pitch with Lucy running after them, which gives the US lots of time to score.
I personally think Aldridge played really well for the UK. He was able to like take on some of their beaters, a couple like 2-on-1 or 1-on-1, whatever, and come out of it cleanly. But as well, like missed a couple long beats, like with Lucy and having to run after them. Was the U.S. didn't have that happen to them nearly as often.
And with the physicality levels, would you say there's like a big disparity there, especially with the U.S. dominating lots of the bludger play. The UK not being able to quite match them physically in a tackling kind of game. How should they have adjusted there? Because they're not often a tackling. They're often a tackling team, but I guess not against a team with the same stature and size as the US. So how would they have to change their game there?
How should they have
How
changed
should they,
it?
or how? What do you think? How do you think that affected their gameplay? Did they change up because of that?
I mean, ideally they would have had more beater or bludger control, so that they would have had to be able to avoid that a little bit more. Of course, I think the US is probably just a physically stronger team, so it is a lot harder to tackle them. What they could have done better to avoid those situations, to then actually be able to get them down a little bit more, that's really hard to say. I think that actually is really a player dependent thing, as some players are better at tackling than others. Oh, of course, it's also technique. Lots of technique. Maybe UK needs to improve on that. I don't know.
I think the US just had a bit of a size advantage, because there's that one point right at the beginning of the game where Simone Arens got right up at the hoop, got completely bowled over, but was able to just recover, drive, go full sprint, and score right through. There's a couple UK defenders, and the UK weren't able to slow him down whatsoever. And there's a couple of plays similar to that throughout the game.
With that said, I mean, UK did have a couple of really nice tackles where their players did go down hard and quaffle was turned over. So it wasn't, so to say, a failure on that side. They did still do what they were supposed to do a large part of the time.
So let's talk about snitch on pitch when that came into play. Obviously, the US was up. So how do you think both teams fared once the snitch was there?
Ooh, I think UK had the wrong focus. I mean, of course, they didn't want the US to catch, but they did have especially near the end, a large amount of points scored on them due to the fact that they were semi-focused on snitch and not actually focusing on the quaffle game.
I completely agree. They didn't like their beat. In my opinion, they probably should have had their beaters focus more on the quaffle game, because when they were down, and then because they kept their beaters more focused on snitch play, they let the lead slip away, and then it just kept going further and further the longer the game went, because both teams stamina-wise were draining, but the US is more, I guess, was playing a more clean, was playing a more crisp game, I guess, for that. But the UK still, as a whole, kind of still did amazing.
And I mean, one has to remember, in the situations like that where the US has the lead, they can slow ball. I mean, they're an experienced team. They know how to slow ball. And the chasers on their own are unlikely to be able to stop that. You need at least one beater with a bludger there to actually get that quaffle turned over, so that you can actually end up going on an offense and scoring.
So the USA advancing to the final against Belgium. The UK now going to play for bronze against Turkey. And final question, who's a standout player for you in this game?
Ooh, I really liked the female beaters on the US. I thought they really were impressive. They were maybe not always the ones making the beats, though they had some really good beats as well, but they were very, very much there on field, cooperating with their partners on field, and I thought the gameplay between the beaters on Team USA was impressive.
Josh?
I was going to say probably Jake Archibald for Team USA. Had a few key defensive stops, covered the ball right when he was surrounded by a few UK players able to recover it. And from the UK, probably pick Lucy, the tall female beater. She played incredibly, and honestly, was one of the reasons the UK were even close.
All over the pitch.
All over the pitch.
Doing lengths of the whole way through. So there you have it. USA takes out Team UK in the semifinals. The US advancing to a gold medal match against Belgium. The UK playing for bronze against Turkey. Both of those games will be coming up later. Up next on the live stream, I believe we have Malaysia-Catalonia?
That would be right, or at least Catalonia, and that does look like Malaysia, yes.
So thank you for tuning in, and there's more great Quidditch coming up your way. This has been Oda, Josh, and Siraj talking USA, UK at the IQA World Cup.